Preparing for nuclear war with baseball cards? Hey, it's Mike. Thanks for tuning back in. So this is an amazing story. This is really cool. Attic Find Friday, which is my favorite day of the week. And make sure you're subscribed because I've got a bunch more Attic Find Fridays coming out over the next couple of months, and I'm really excited about it. This one comes to us from Collect, CLLCT. It was written by Darren Ravel. Great article, great details by Darren. And I appreciate that. Again, like I said last week, these articles have more relevant details to the hobby than you're going to find on other local news websites where I was finding these in the past. But I digress. So we have the story of a woman who was a fine arts major in college. And during the COVID pandemic, she was scouring estate sales for sealed food packaging. It was a weird time, you guys. It's weird to think back on some of the strange things that people did. And so she kind of fixated on these vintage sealed packages of food. And her first big find and flip was a vintage box of Playboy chocolates. I assume it was vintage. I've never heard of Playboy chocolates. Playboy chocolates that she paid $32 for and then flipped them for $600. And so now she's got kind of this taste for estate sale arbitrage in the very specific niche of sealed food packages. So she goes back for more, and she ends up finding, not at an estate sale, but from a liquidation company, 6 sealed trays of 1961 Post cereal with those baseball cards on the back of them. And you may remember these cards if you're from that era or you've bought them in the past. And so she thinks, oh, these might be valuable. She researches them and realizes that they are. Now, if it were me, I would be going to Collector Investor Auctions CIA, owned by Jeremy Donson, the Texas Snowman, and Chris Sewell, Collector Investor Dealer in that order. I would be going to them. I would consign these through them, knowing that they're very valuable and rare, or I'd be selling to them outright. They buy collections outright. Make sure you do. They sponsor Attic Find Friday because they want to buy collections of cards from collectors like you, like me, or you can just consign through them. Make sure to tell them Mike Junkwax Hero sent you. It is the best. In my opinion, they are the best for hobbyists, for collectors, even for dealers who are trying to sell certain things. So she does all of her research, realizes that these are pretty rare, and she sells 5 boxes of sealed cereal on her own for $3,000 total. But she has one of them that has Mickey Mantle on them. And there was even a commercial. Post Cereal did a commercial. And in the commercial, they have like Alphabets cereal.
Hey, Johnny! Post Cereals have free baseball trading cards. Free baseball cards? Yeah, one on the packages. Here's Post Alphabet.
And they have these little boys, and they idolize Mickey Mantle. It's a really cool commercial. And looking back on it, I obviously was born 10 years after Mantle retired, so I didn't have that, the experience of growing up idolizing Mantle, but I can see it. I can see it in this commercial.
And here's Mickey Mantle. He's my favorite. Boy, he can really shag those flies.
How cool he was and how effortless he was. He just catches that ball so easily and effortlessly. I could see being a 10-year-old boy and being an idolizing Mickey Mantle. It's pretty easy to see it, just watching that one commercial. So when she goes to pick up these boxes from the liquidation company, they tell her that they had been stored in a nuclear bunker for decades, ever since that era, from the early 1960s. And I'm trying to think, if I were starting a nuclear bunker to protect myself from nuclear war, my family, would I be putting cereal, dry cereal in there? I don't know how long dry cereal lasts, but it's not very long. And it just seems like an odd choice. But, 1961, there probably weren't as many choices as there are today for sustainable food. But it just seems like an odd choice. Like, let's make sure we pack our alphabets into the nuclear bunker. It's weird, right? What would you bring? Tell me in comments, what would you bring into your nuclear bunker to save yourself during nuclear fallout? So let's talk about the PSA population of these, because I find this interesting. PSA has graded 15,000 cards from the 1961 Post set. They've graded 400,000 from the 1961 Top set. There are 010s of Mantle. There's 9. I could not find a single public sale of the 9. There are 7 8s, and one of the 8s sold in 2019. That's the last public sale for $1,700. That was a PSA 8. PSA has graded 20 of the panels. 0 of them contain Mantle. And so, knowing that you have Mantle on this panel, what would you pay for? I'll tell you, somebody bought this for $21,600 through REA. What is this person, the buyer, going to do with it? If it were me, knowing that there's a pop 0 in PSA and how big cards are right now, I would be rushing to PSA. You have a gold mine, potential gold mine. It's not going to sell for $1 million, but you can buy this for $21,000 plus, I guess the buyer's premium is included in that. Get it graded with PSA pretty quickly and fairly cheaply and flip it or just put it in your collection. You could just take the sealed box and put it in your collection for a long, long time, and it's probably going to appreciate. But I think I would flip it. And I'm curious what you would do. So would you grade it with PSA and then flip it, knowing that it'll be a pop 1? Could be high grade. Would you cut it? Would you cut this out, the Mantle, hoping to get a 9 or a 10 and then sell that? It would depend on you'd have to get the box in hand before you can make your decision. There are also 2 autographed copies in the PSA population, so 2 that are dual graded by PSA. One of them is a 5 with a 10 autograph, and that one is currently for sale for $12,000 or best offer on eBay. Weird coincidence, since there are only 2 of them. The other one is also for sale on eBay. The card is in much worse condition. It is for sale for $3,650 or best offer. These, like the $12,000 one, if I had the money, it feels like a pretty decent investment. Tony from Southern Collector, that feels like a cool thing to me, but you're much smarter with your money than I am. You're much smarter with your money than I am with your money, is what I'm trying to say. So let me know what you would do. I think that this is a really, really cool find. Nuclear bunker history. Cereal boxes filled with cereal still. I don't know. Would you eat the cereal? Would you open a pack from 1961 Tops and eat the gum, chew the gum? No, probably not. But yeah, just a really cool story. The 33-year-old woman wanted to stay anonymous, understandably. I would want to stay anonymous too. But yeah, good for her. According to Rovell, she sold this for $21,600. And that is a 32,700% return on her original $75 investment. That's not bad. I didn't check his math. I don't know if that $3,000 from the original 5 boxes she sold is factored into that return, but pretty awesome. So that's it on that. Tonight I'm recording with Greg our new episode of Surface Issues. I think we'll post it on Monday on the podcast network. If you haven't already heard, Greg from Midlife Cards and Adam from Splendid Sports and I have started a podcasting network. We are posting that on Monday in the podcast network and then probably Tuesday on YouTube. Got 300 subscribers on YouTube already, which was shocking. Amazing. Thank you for the support to all of you. Great comments. And then I'll have an announcement in the next probably week to 10 days about my next podcast. It's a rotating two series, really. One every other week, and then the other one on rotating weeks. And I've already lined up guests for both of them, so I'm excited about that. And because all 3 of us are fully employed with families, we are slow rolling all of this. We're we're not trying to get out there and do a bunch of crazy things. You'll see we'll have a schedule that we'll post on the channel in the near future, and we're going to start slowly adding more things to the network. So that's it. I hope you guys have a great, great weekend. Make sure you check out Collector Investor Auction. Their auction ends Sunday. Sunday night. Have a lot of awesome things, and consign through them. I would. Talk to you all soon.